You can keep your emails in there. You're missing stuff. You need to go to the zero inbox mentality because it'll make everything else be more harmonious. And you need to learn how to use your system.
We have to believe it in order to deliver it, right? We have to understand it well enough to know that it's the right thing. And we can't only deal with our own life experiences.
All right, everybody, we are here live, 100% live here all across the lovely United States of America, bringing hard market hero help to insurance agencies and maybe all of our friends and family who are watching this on social media. So if you're watching, hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. All right, guys. Well, let's do a little catch up to speed. We're at week 2 of Hard Market Hero. Let's start with where we all are across this fine nation. Teresa, where are you? I should say, Therese, where are you today?
I am in Apex, North Carolina at my home office.
Excellent. And Bobby, are you like right underneath my hotel room? Because we're in the same hotel room.
I am sitting right down here, although I'm up here.
Up here. Yeah, we should change up the screens to be accurate, right?
Johnson City, Tennessee.
The beautiful Bristol area of Tennessee. We are here bringing and spreading hard market news to those around us. And Stephen, where are you located today? Oops, Stephen, we're having a little audio challenge for you. So we could put funny words into Stephen's mouth if we wanted to, like that bubbles. Where is Stephen? Stephen is at a greenhouse with all of his plants.
Yeah.
And I hear you. There you go. What's alive without technology?
I'm fresh back from Dallas, Texas. So my bangs are nice and big. I'm back in Tacoma, Washington, though, today.
Okay.
But things are bigger in Texas, so I still got my Texas hair on.
Yeah, I love that. Just to recap, everybody, this week we spent the whole week talking with, how many attendees did we have? We were over 300, I think, agencies, right?
Well, we had 99 in both sessions. So we had about 200 on the 2 sessions.
And we have tomorrow's session. Tomorrow's session is at what time? Was it 4 p.m. Eastern time, I believe?
3
p.m. Eastern time. So if you haven't gotten it, there's still time to sign up. You can sign up, get all the recordings. We're doing the final sessions on how to manage your time in a hard market because great news, everybody. Renewals are taking longer. So I wanted to kick off this one by just going ahead and saying, what's everybody's favorite time management tip that we're picking up and sharing with all these agencies out there? Because we've already brought this information to over 200 agencies, which is amazing. So let's start with Bobby, my neighbor. What's your favorite time management strategy that we've been pushing?
Oh my gosh, this has been such a great week. Like, I am so pumped up about time management and it has been so much fun. And I think that people are really getting a lot out of it. My favorite thing to talk about, though, is to triage. Getting people to understand how to triage their customer and how to operate more like an ER nurse and understand like this is how we need to manage our day, which I think is very different thinking from most account managers, more like a deli counter.
So I am so excited to tell people about do not resuscitate DNR clients and vampires. Client vampires they suck all of our time away, and how we need to remember that we're spending a lot of time with those clients and we're not spending a lot of time with the big clients that actually pay the bill. The huge clients that have a ton of policies, they're on EFT or pay in full. So we never really talk to them. We just kind of let it fly. And because they pay their bills on time and don't really request much, we don't spend the right amount of time with them. So when we say equal amounts of time, we mean that if you're spending 10 minutes with that person that comes in to pay every single time, you should be spending 10 minutes with those clients that pay our bills and that are great clients that never contact us. So that's my favorite.
Do not resuscitate. Yes.
Trump the Trump. Mine would be, well, Teresa took mine. So, I do love telling my story about Randy, and then Bobby gets offended because that's, her man friend's name, but it's just what happened. I also think, though, eating the frog, like really taking the step back, picking the larger, difficult task, tackling it head on, getting it accomplished. Because if nothing else happens, at least you won your day if you got that large thing off your plate. I think you really just have to identify it because, first of all, it makes you acknowledge it exists and you can't hide from it. And second of all, it makes you feel good if you actually accomplish it. So take a few minutes in the morning, make that call, do that task, get it off your plate and make the magic happen.
Yeah, I dig that. Mine, and I have to ask this question to Therese and Bobby because I think Bobby might be frozen right now, but Therese, so we do this slide and it's in this section, and I'm sorry if it is my mom watching, in this section, we have a section with my brother and me. And is that an awkward slide to do? Because I had to join a funeral and then I was at a speaking engagement that got jumbled up. Is that an awkward slide to talk about my brother when
It kind of is. I was actually thinking maybe we should switch it out when we do it and kind of come up with a different situation because Bobby has done it both times and she's done an excellent job at it. I think it's a little awkward. I don't know if Bobby does or not, but I'm not sure if she's frozen still.
Well, I think she is.
I actually love that slide because every time I'm like, shut up, now I get to talk about Kelly and her family. And everybody's like,
yeah.
I'm going to take it more stop.
Someone said the other day, it's like, you're really mean to your brother. And I'm like, you have to meet him.
Right. I was like, well,
Untrue that there's not sticky notes that say do not write DNR and people's management. So my favorite time management strategy, I think that this is just one that we all need to practice time in and time out again is the rate question is just a question. Why did my rate go up? I had the pleasure of doing this session live in Reading, Pennsylvania. And, that was one of their big takeaways was it's just a question. I keep forgetting it's not that they're upset or they're frustrated, that we would all call if all of a sudden you got a bill that was a lot higher and ask the question. I love that one because so many times we're seeing people just scatter and remarket all these people. And we just need to answer the question and see where we stand after the question is answered. So that's a huge time management tip. All right. So on all these sessions, we do a survey. And at the end, we ask, is there anything we didn't cover, anything that wasn't clear? And so we had a couple questions come in. And I wanted to bring this to this group right here. So one of the questions that came in was, we didn't cover email management. And in our traditional time management class, it's like a whole lesson and get your email down. As you all know, and we hold accountability here at APP, we are zero inboxers at APP at the end of the day. Not every day is created equal. There's some days where it's better, but we know that is our mission to get to the zero inbox because if I have 55 emails in my inbox, it means Therese can't do her job or everything's a rush or a scramble. So I want to go through and say, Stephen, what are some of your tips? And Therese, what are some tips that you would give agencies on how to manage the inbox?
I think anything client related needs to go directly to the client file and then be dealt with so that it's documented properly.
The 2-minute rule like that.
The 2-minute rule. Shut up. If it takes 2 minutes, do it and document it. If it takes more than 2 minutes, document it and schedule it for when you're going to do it. But I think that's huge. Really just making sure and unsubscribe from all of the chaos. The Real has 4 of my email addresses for some reason. And I had to unsubscribe from 3 of them.
Well, that's because you're trying to hide it from your husband, what you're really buying.
That's not a time management tip, Kelly. Can we move along?
That's true. That's not a tip. It could be. It stops the spousal fight, which leads to more time that you would have in your day. So
have it all shipped to the P.O. box and you'll be okay.
There you go. Therese, how about you? What are some of your time management strategies that you like?
I think prioritizing is important, that you go in and look and see what the emails are. And like Stephen said, get them into the management system and then task yourself from there and put a priority on it. When something comes in, you look at the what it is. If it can be done in 2 minutes, you do it in 2 minutes. If not, you prioritize those tasks. Like we mentioned yesterday, there could be like with remarket E&O issues because they rewrite a policy and it misses stuff. But the same thing happens if you get a task to change out a car and you miss it. And the car never goes on the policy and they can track where that email was sent and possibly justify, this was sent to the agency and they never did it. So we just need to be careful and make sure that we're prioritizing the things that are urgent and need to be done immediately, like a home closing, or a car being changed out. Now, the car being changed out is a little less than the home closing. They have to have everything at the moment. But I think prioritizing is really important.
Yeah, and I think Bobby's going to try to join us in a second. I'm adding her into the stream here. So technical difficulties aside. Bobby, I'll let you think on this question. The question is how to manage your email. That came in as a follow-up question. I'll let you think. So I know you just got back in. I'll go ahead and answer and then put you up next. I think for email management, to me, it's a mission. And one of the pushbacks that I get all the time is actually heavily from producers who I'm on the road. I need to search through my email. I just need all my emails right here. And I just say to them, you're missing things. It's not getting in the system. This is E&O issues. I want to be a bikini model, but you know what? Here's the great news. I'm probably going to pound down 2 sushi rolls tonight. So, the reality is that we all want things, but just because it's convenient for you does not mean that it's best for the agency, the client, or the team that is supporting you. You can keep your emails in there. You're missing stuff. You need to go to the zero inbox mentality because it'll make everything else be more harmonious. And you need to learn how to use your system. That's it at the end of the day. And so I think a lot of times, if you have this mentality, Therese is modeling her t-shirts here. If you have this mentality of get to the zero inbox, then you know what? You do maybe put an extra half hour in, but everybody comes into work the next day and can do their job. And we're not dropping balls. We're not, doing 911 calls. We're not scrambling because everybody has what they need to do their job, as opposed to you having an email that hasn't been responded to in 3 days and everybody's wondering what's going on. And I'll say this before I put Bobby on. There is nothing worse than feeling forgotten about. And so when we don't respond to people in a timely fashion, people feel forgotten about, clients or your team, you're degrading that relationship and diminishing the trust that is so vital in this industry. Right. Therese, are there any other questions that came up on your session that we should address here tonight?
We just had different questions. We went through and talked to them about peering clients and the do not resuscitate clients. And they were a little concerned and worried about, getting rid of clients because they didn't think that was a good thing. Let me pull up. I actually got a question up. I think the poll question was really, really cool because we asked them, what would a superhero do in this market when our clients are desperate for our attention and time? And some of the comments to that were excellent. They were be available, knowledgeable, and personable, give them our time and listen, manage staff time better, complete client reviews, take the time to go over current policies with them, listen to them, turn off the phone, which I was a little concerned about that one. I'm not sure if they mean turn off the cell phones or turn off the agency phones, because you don't want to turn off the agency phone because then they won't get anybody. But so we had a bunch of full things come through. I can't think of any actual questions that they asked, and I actually looked to see if it shows up, and it doesn't. It does. I don't have a report with the questions that were asked.
All right. Well, we have some viewers here. So we're going to just ask you guys, if you're viewing and you have questions for us on hard market, insurance, anything, let them in. We will start taking your questions. But I did want to go through and read just a few testimonials because Therese and Bobby did such a great job. I had a funeral to attend yesterday. And then Tuesday, I was at a speaking event and the schedule got jumped around. So they pitched it for us. So a couple of things that people liked about the sessions: very practical, useful information, easy to implement. So if you're on the fence, just do it, right? I need to book more appointments and prioritize my time and call time wasters vampires or time vampires. That's a good one. We have another scenario. The ladies are professional and quick. I like that the information was reassuring that renewals are taking time. It feels like we're trying to get done as quick as possible, but it does take time. We had a couple others here I'll read. The team is a fantastic group to learn from. They're energetic and learning always feels fun. I always feel inspired after a session and I feel like I have all the tools to do great things. So I thought that was so cool because I think it's an important scenario for everybody to give their team tools in this hard market. So the people attending, and this was the first week with teams, last week was all leadership. If you buy our course now, you're actually going to get all the recordings too. So we have a whole set of PDFs, etc. While we're waiting for some questions to come in, come on, guys, spell in your questions. Ask us anything. What color are Steven's underwear today? What is Therese making for dinner? Anything. Where did Bobby go?
We did actually get a chance in yesterday's session to show the renewal review sheet.
Oh, cool.
So I shared a little bit of the renewal review sheet. And of course, we had everybody go, can we have it? Can you send it to us via email? And I was like, well, we'll put it, I think it's in lesson 5. So I think it comes with lesson 5. So we said they're going to have to wait. They have to be there on lesson 5.
Well, it is at school right now, and if they have the lesson. So it is there if they want to go get it. But they should go get the course too.
And I think they also have about the remarket hit ratio. I think they forget, they do all these remarkets and they don't realize they're getting ghosted by half of them and how much time they waste on these remarkets. That one was another one that came through, I think sometimes instead of questions, it's more like aha moments.
Yeah, definitely. I know for the agencies I've been at that just do training days, not ones that we're engaged in a long scenario with, people are like, why are we automatically remarketing? I never thought it that way. There's this apprehension people have of, I want to call Therese and tell her I'm saving money. I don't want to call and talk about anything other than I'm saving money. And it's so heartbreaking for me that because it feels like all we do is think about how to save people money as our only value. And I just look at everybody, I'm like, no, we want to call everybody and say hello and make sure that they have the right insurance, look at their discounts and not just go ahead and save money. I'm calling you only because I can't tell you that your rate went up because you're going to hate my guts. So I'm going to save money. This is so, so critical, I think, right now is to understand that we just need to talk to people, have a conversation, and then determine what the next step is. And that next step may be a remarket. It might be just discounts. It might be talking about inspections. It might be adding coverages. When we go ahead and shop somebody in advance, we're assuming that that's what they want, and we don't know. And that is so labor intensive and so time consuming. It is so many failure points that we will not be able to keep up with automatic remarkets right now. It's just not going to be a scenario that we can live with.
Well, and I think they forget that you can have agency standard and you don't have to remarket people that are monoline.
Yeah.
I talked about Hula and Four and Score and said, get those. They just have the auto. Ask them, do you rent or own your home? And when they answer, that's where you run from there and say, hey, if you want to save money on your auto, I can write your home or we can do an umbrella and we can get all these discounts bundled. Because right now, if they only have their auto, they've got to live somewhere. If they're not living in their car, we've got to make sure. And you can always say, if something happens to you, a family member or a friend are going to call your insurance agency to see where the insurance is or how to get the insurance to help. And if all of your insurance is not in this one place, they're going to have to call all over the place. So it's better to keep it in one place. So just being able to use you only have one policy with us. We can't remarket you because we need another line of business. And I think some people forget about that. And I know when I was in an agency, I would remarket, the first thing that when somebody called in about price, it would go right to the remarket. And I don't know why. It's like a mentality where you just automatically go there, but we forget also that we're not only taking all the work to remarket, but we're also reducing premium for the agency. And if that was our paycheck as writing agents or as service agents and our paycheck was reducing by that much, we would look at it differently.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. So what do we got next week? We got building confidence is actually my favorite section. And the reason I love the building confidence is brand new, never been seen before content. I just see so many people on insurance so beat down, just lacking confidence. It's like we become smaller and like, I'm really sorry your rates went up and this is what we can do about it and don't hate me. And I understand where all of that is coming from, but your client's looking for strength and stability and a plan and that this is going to be okay. And when we don't deliver this information confidently, what we do is really downgrade ourselves. And what we do is we actually make our jobs a lot harder. I'm excited for confidence. I don't know if you guys have taken a peek at it yet, but I actually had everybody. So I don't know if this is going to help or hurt our sales, just for the record. So if it hurts our sales, we'll just take it out of the podcast. But so we had a room of 30 people at Spots Insurance in Reading, Pennsylvania on Tuesday. And I had them get all up and do the superhero pose for 30 seconds because scientifically, you will feel more confident when you do the superhero pose. So we all stood up and I said, so imagine explaining to somebody their rate increase while being in the superhero pose. And I got them doing, hi, Joy Pike.
And look, I've got my disguise glasses.
She's got her disguise glasses on. She's rocking her Hard Market Hero shirt.
Yeah.
How about you, Stephen? What's your favorite confidence tip for agents today on how to deliver hard market information?
I think we have to believe it in order to deliver it, right? We have to understand it well enough to know that it's the right thing. And we can't only deal with our own life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Like years ago, I had nothing. I couldn't even find $1 to pay my insurance some months, right? But I bought an umbrella because I knew I needed one. And the
Yeah, I
day
think
I
it was
bought
that
an
I would eat
umbrella,
chocolate can of tuna as opposed
Yeah.
to like one.
but like the first day I bought an umbrella, I suddenly started selling them like wildfire. I was like, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And I believed in it because I understood the importance, and I personally then had an experience. So I think that really just being confident, even in a small way, and delivering it, it's kind of like if you're trying to sell me something and you're like, so I think that you might really like this one, but it's $12 more. Or if you're like, this one's $12 more and it's worth every cent, and here's why. I'm going to be like, shut up. I'll take the confident one, please. And so I think we really have to just get in that mindset of delivering the news in a confident manner, or having the conversations in a confident way, that we're doing something great for the client.
Agree. How about you, Therese?
I think insurance language is like speaking another language. I have the experience of speaking another language. I lived in a third world country, Guatemala, for 12 years. And somebody said to me, how are you able to do that? And I'm like, if I can live in a third world country as like blonde haired and blue eyed and like the only one, and just kind of, I had to wing it. I didn't speak Spanish when I moved there. But if you think about it, insurance is like a different language. So you should have the confidence because you speak another language. You speak insurance. So that alone should give you enough confidence. And we did talk about, you're a licensed insurance agent when it comes to making appointments and setting appointments. Just like a doctor's office sets appointments, licensed insurance agents should do the same thing, because you're not only respecting your time, but you're also respecting the client's time. Use the fact that you know insurance, that you speak the insurance language, and that you're a professional, and make appointments, value everybody's time, and only the confidence will come with it, because you'll start to realize that you do know a lot about insurance, especially when the clients start asking questions and you know the answer.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll leave you with my favorite confidence tip, which is the incumbent agent always has the upper hand. Just knowing that if you have their policy, you automatically have the advantage. You are not at a disadvantage. And by the way, if you look, hundreds of people renew their policies every day with rate increases. You just don't see them because they automatically renew. And I really feel like if we went back to the golden days where you didn't have as much automation, you had to manually renew every policy, like we would feel like I renewed 10, I lost one. I renewed 10, I lost one. And we'd be at a 92% net retention ratio, and it wouldn't feel as bad. But the ones you interact with are the ones that are leaving. And so our perspective gets really skewed. So real quick, so if anybody would like the Hard Market Hero series, I highly recommend that you go check it out. You can go to our website. We put some links in the chat too. If you're going to listen to this podcast, there'll be a link. So right now we're going to launch week 3 next week. And what that looks like is building confidence. You'll get weeks 1 and 2 as recorded sessions and all the add-ons. Right now it's $795 just for everybody. $795 get your whole agency in, every single person. Okay. You get one code. We do these sessions 3 times a week. And think about the testimonials I just read. People are loving the opportunity to hear about how to handle this. So if you're walking around with 2 bitter beer faces, this might be the opportunity for you. I want everybody to take advantage of that. If you have any questions, reach out. We're happy to help. For those of you who haven't registered, tomorrow's session is at, what do we say, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock Eastern time that you can hop on if you want to catch this week. So do that. Therese, you want to model our Hard Market Hero shirt one more time? We've got
it's great. It's lightweight. It's perfect for the summer. I'm inside and it's kind of cold, so I've got 2 shirts on. So you can layer it with different colors. You can do white. You can do the gray like me. It's Hard Market Heroes on it. Great quality, and it's true to size. I wear a medium. I got a large. It's a little big, so having the shirt underneath it. If anybody wants the swag, I put that in the chat so you guys can click on the link. They're awesome.
All right. Well, guys, have a great rest of your day, and we will catch up with everybody tomorrow on our Hard Market Hero session.
Bye.